Austin. We're knocking on the door of the ETF. It looks like it's imminent. We have tons of money flowing in, billions perhaps. And what is going to happen to Bitcoin's price? Can we see 100K Bitcoin in 2024? I think it's time to discover crypto.
Capital flight is coming to the United States. The dollar is going to zero.
And that's what makes Bitcoin so special.
You have to have gone through a couple cycles to understand.
Once the price is able to clear this level, the breakout is on its way.
This is your indication to jump in now.
Boy, I'm feeling bullish. Everything's looking good. Bitcoin's up 4%. And then I open up my portfolio and I say, why are like only 20% of my alts popping? Why is everything else down a bit? Folks, it's going to be a great show. We're going to talk about the ETF. We're going to talk about potential day it will start trading if we get the ETF approved tomorrow. Also, we got Kelly and Drew on the ones and twos. How are you two doing?
You know what? I'm doing great, and I am staying ahead of the curve this year, especially because everything that's going on in the market right now. I'm getting my taxes done early. I've already started on them using decrypted tax. If you guys want to check out a great spot to do your crypto taxes, because you got to do them. I'm sure that they're going to be bringing the hammer down on people that are kind of skirting that. So check out decrypted.tax. And you know what? The reason I'm doing it, because I think I'm going to be getting some money back this year, and I'm going to deploy it right back into crypto.
Okay. I thought you were going to say right back to Uncle Sam in the IRS, but you know that'll be for next year. All right, everybody, and then that 2026 tax bill. Not looking forward to that one. The tail end of 25. Drew, what's your tax plan? Just pay them, right?
I mean, they pay me for how many children I have.
Oh, yeah,
you know
okay. Yeah,
I mean?
You have a brood.
Yeah, this is like a government incentive program to not see the end of society as we know it. So they're, incentivizing children being
Well, what do you
born.
think of that incentive program? Should we pay parents for, having children?
Yeah, life costs so much more when you have a big family. People, that are single, that are like going to Chick-fil-A cost me $80. So I'm here for it.
Wait,
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
Wait, no. More seriously, though, what was your last Chick-fil-A bill? For a family of 6, for those who are wondering. Family of 6, Chick-fil-A bill.
$75, man. Yeah. It's
what?
Up there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had no idea inflation was that bad. I don't go to Chick-fil-A that often, but
yeah, you feel it a lot more when you're feeding 6 people. So.
Man. Oh man. See, I'd be feeding those kids ramen. I'd be teaching them ramen, how to make ramen and mayonnaise sandwiches. But let's talk about this Bitcoin ETF. Forbes is saying a spot ETF approval will send Bitcoin's price to $80,000. Will that happen? What would it look like? So they're saying emphasizing the impact of this approval and what it would have on the price, according to the publication, could surge to 80K by the end of 2024 if we get the SEC approval of these applications. They're also predicting approximately $5 billion flowing into the ETFs just in the first 6 months of 2024. The second half could see double that with an inflow of $10 billion, giving us, projections indicating Bitcoin could attain a $1.5 trillion market cap before the year's end. Where would that put us at market cap wise? Because we have more Bitcoin released. Where we peak out at 2 trillion? Do you remember? 21 November?
Yeah, I'm looking right here. 21 November 2022. Let's see, 21. That was, it was in terms of the market cap. Actually, let me pull that up.
Okay, I was going to say, on TradingView. And also, if you're on CoinGecko, if you want to share this real quick, they have a market cap tab that you can then tap there, right there. It'll tell you, we hit max. Okay, wow, not even that high. It was actually only 1.25. 1.25 trillion. So, okay, seeing a significant pump for Bitcoin. Standard Charter is even more bullish. 80K feels like FUD. But this is for the end of 2025, and they're saying a $200,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025, a 300% climb from where it trades today, saying the ETFs may absorb, coming in a lot higher, $50 to $100 billion worth of flows within a year. So the price of gold rose 4.3x the 7 to 8 years it took for the ETP holdings to mature. And so they're saying, similar projection for Bitcoin here that assumes between around 500,000 to 1.3 million new Bitcoin will be held in the US ETFs by the end of this year. In USD terms, that should be 50 to 100 billion. Yeah, saying another prediction, they're coming in a little bit higher than 80K, $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2024.
Woo.
But
how do we feel about that?
Well, something I want to bring up that a lot of people I feel like are just kind of skirting over and not acknowledging. We draw this correlation between Bitcoin and gold, especially when we're trying to look to historically how gold performed when the ETF was approved for that. But gold has been around through basically the age of civilization. It's not a new technology, and it does not have a finite amount of 21 million like Bitcoin does. So we're venturing into different territory. I am so excited for the future because the fact that we have these Bitcoin spot ETFs basically not only on the horizon, we can see the mast of the ship coming over the edge of, yes, you heard it, the round earth, coming over that horizon. It's tomorrow, more likely than not, we're seeing it's going to be tomorrow. And the fact of the matter is there's so much money on the sidelines that we have not even really earmarked or really conceived what the flows are going to do to Bitcoin, because it's not just a new asset, in a new niche. It's an entirely different concept on everything that's regarding monetary instruments. So I think it's going to be an interesting year to say the least. And I think they're undercutting it conservatively, saying 50 to 100 billion.
All right. Well, we also have a very bullish TA signal that is just launched. And after this, we're going to talk about VanEck's prediction on when it starts trading. I want to make sure I have the right data here. So we have never had this in the last, what are we looking at here? Since 2016. So in the last 7 years, we've attempting to print a rare crossover that preceded the Bitcoin bull run to 20K in 2017. So we're looking at a very, very bullish indicator. Looks like it has maybe only happened once ever. What are we talking about here? It is a golden cross. The 21 period EMAs attempted across the 50 period EMA, and this is for the weekly, correct? So we have never seen this since then. And then look what happened with Bitcoin's price action. Have you seen this on the charts? Were we looking at this earlier?
Well, I'm looking here at a golden cross with the 50 and the 200 here on my chart, and we've never seen it. We got very close back here with the faster moving average here, dipping very close to it. But this also is another marker that sort of signifies what I just said. This asset is so new that back here when we were seeing basically in November 2015, there wasn't enough history of charted price action to give a 200-week moving average, which is why this, in previous cycles, you could not have seen anything unfold in this manner. But the fact of the matter is, this moving average cross right here with this faster moving average dipping down as we saw here and coming back and crossing is just another feather in the cap for all the bullishness that is stacking up this year. We've never seen this many things confluent with astronomically bullish situations to propel Bitcoin to that 80K, 100K, 200K and beyond price point in US dollars that I think we're going to be seeing here sooner than we think.
All right. And sooner than you think is what this ETF might start trading on as well. Let me go ahead and read this. VanEck CEO says its spot Bitcoin ETF should start trading in 2 days, everybody. So kind of, assuming we're going to get approval tomorrow and then looking like we're going to be able to trade within 24 hours on there, echoing other firms that expect the SEC to greenlight these products and the next day. You believe it's going to start trading Thursday? The host asked. Yeah, said Jan VanEck.
What a name.
You said what a name?
Yeah.
That is such a name. That's a powerful Bond villain name.
Yeah. With the last name being VanEck, I'm guessing his first name is Jan.
Okay, Jan. All right. We got the international man of mystery over here, so thanks for keeping us compliant there. Asset managers been vying for this ETF for months, and updated forms have been rapidly filed as they get closer to obtaining approval, and they're also anticipating a decision soon. And look at that, effective at the end of business day on Wednesday, with trading to begin Thursday morning, not 2 p.m., not 4:58 p.m., not 11:59 p.m. in the morning. What are we going to wake up to? Those is that going to be God candles on Thursday?
Well, what we all need to take into account here is a lot of people are trying to trade the hell out of this move, and there's a lot of things that are not fully codified yet. There's not fixed dates. There's not fixed approvals that have happened, and not only when it's approved, but when is it going to start trading? And so that being said, if it does, say we do get approval tomorrow morning, midday, or tomorrow evening, anytime tomorrow, and everybody's expecting now that maybe because of this article that maybe it's going to, start trading on Thursday. If that doesn't happen, there's going to be some volatility in the market. So we have to be patient, take your shots, but have a strategy around it. Don't go throwing your entire portfolio that you've been stacking through the bear market on a 30x leverage trade, thinking you're going to catch a God candle and then only for it to dip and shake you out. Now, do I think it's going to trade on Thursday? I think there's a good possibility of it. If I had to guess, especially as we talk to James Seyfarth and a couple of the other people that really understand these ETFs much more than we do, it seems to me like they were lending their mind to a date a little bit beyond that, still near.
Yeah.
Like sometime even next week, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm releasing a video, and I'm actually coming in. From my research, it looks like it's going to be weeks, potentially days. So maybe just think about that when you watch the video tonight. This Van Eck CEO statement, it's a bold proclamation. Because a CEO of an asset firm like that, you don't think it would just be saying things you would expect from a meme token founder. That's almost like a meme token founder. Like, we're going to be on this centralized exchange Thursday.
Right. But,
like, whoa.
But you see, that could be a narrative setup for a drop in price to give better access to lower prices. I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but we have to be aware when we're trading and investing, we're actively participating in the market. I don't mean just buying and holding. When you're trying to actively participate in price action, you need to be aware that there are narratives at play that other people are sharing in such deep and intricate ways that you don't know it's a narrative push until the market does the opposite thing because they're triggering your emotions. But I wanted to go to Turkey, the Rio.
Yeah, I like this.
He said, what happened in previous events that were similar to ETF approval, CME, Coinbase, Future? Now, I do want to bring that up because it's a great point. In the previous times when we've had these conceptually big events that have taken place within the crypto world, especially with Bitcoin, with the CME futures, Coinbase being, crypto-facing exchange getting IPO'd, and then the futures ETF, Bitto, all those marked a somewhat of a local top in Bitcoin. But
they were all at the worst 6-12 month period of the 4-year cycle, or the best, but conversely the worst.
But in addition to that, one of the things that we have to be aware of through all this that, and we talk about this, you bring this up a lot when we talk about altcoins. Community has a huge impact on what's going on with price action and what the community narrative is at the time. And we have to admit, over the last 4 years, over the last 14, but primarily from the last market cycle top to where we're at now, the amount of evolution and awareness globally that has taken place. And I don't want to say acceptance, but at least those seeds of doubt or the cognitive dissonance that has been planted from mainstream media those winds have started to shift dramatically, especially since the announcement of the BlackRock spot ETF application that they put in. It made a lot of fund managers and a lot of institutional people out there that were kind of putting their back up against the wall saying no to Bitcoin. Maybe there's something here. And I think that with the FASB rules changing and it's obvious that Bitcoin is going to be some sizable portion of portfolios in both corporate treasuries, individual retail, and businesses and government. So I think the winds are a little bit different now. That does not mean it's only God candles from here, but I do think we are going to see an incredible 2024. So hit the like button if you're expecting some green candles this year.
Catch them all in a 30x altcoin trade. $1 at 75x. I actually just closed a 10x long on Cardano. Almost wish I was still in it here. I kind of caught in on this little bit of a ball and knife area. We just closed it minutes ago. But man, I almost, the reason I close it, because I'm trying to do the live stream and I don't want to keep having to go back to the charts. So I close it. I should have moved the stop loss. I'm already feeling the FOMO.
I don't think I did it on the basement. It felt right.
It felt right to close it. It feels good closing in profit. All right. We're getting up to steak dinners now. I'm moving past the sandwiches, moving into the steak dinners with like a glass of wine.
Is it like a TV steak dinner or is it like you go
it's a real Prime steak dinner. It's a real, I'm not at Salt Bay steak dinners. That's the next level of trade. So moving on up to Salt Bay steaks. Right now we're just at regular steaks with a glass of wine. All right. You ready for the most bullish indicator? What to you is one of the most famous indicators in crypto and finance in general?
Oh, let's be mad.
He has my haircut.
Let's be Mad Money Mike. Mad Money Mike. It's going down. It's going down. That means.
Speaking of Money Mike, Cat Williams, the only person who could play that. Actually, Dave Chappelle would do that.
I meant to say Mad
well.
Money, but yeah, because we were talking about that earlier. Yeah.
All right. Well, yes, we're talking about Jim Cramer. All right. Jim Cramer just put out a bold proclamation for Bitcoin yesterday. You can already feel the tension in the air, the hairs on the back of your neck starting to stand up. What did Jim Cramer say about Bitcoin? Please, oh please say it was bad. Call it rat poison. Just say anything. Just say how it sucks. And then we know something good will happen. What did he say? Oh, he turned bearish. This is good news. He is now bearish. He thinks it is topping out. What does that mean, chat? What do you think when Jim Cramer says Bitcoin is at a top? Is that a reverse indicator again? Well, during the segment, he advised against investing in Bitcoin mining stocks, such as Marathon Digital and Riot Platforms. He said, if you want Bitcoin, oh no. If you want Bitcoin, then buy Bitcoin. But then he did say, I think Bitcoin is topping out. By the way, Jim Cramer topping out there. Robert in North Carolina had a question there. He praised the cryptocurrency as a technological marvel. He also acknowledged its resilience and unexpected comeback. Unexpected to him.
Unexpected if you don't look at a chart. And this is for so many people out there. And you got to share this with friends and family. These markets don't just willy-nilly move around. If you zoom out on a weekly or a monthly chart, you can see on any asset, not just Bitcoin, what cycles they flow into and how the price action responds over different periods of time. And Bitcoin, more than any asset that I've ever seen, has a fairly fixed. I mean, really quick, just a tangent here. Look at this chart really quick. I mean, these are the halvings. If you haven't seen this before, you must be new here, but welcome to the Bitcoin show here, because when we get these halvings, the reduction in new supply coming in, this is when you get the best part of the bull market in each cycle following the halving. And so when he's saying right here, which is relatively right here, now he's bearish just before the most bullish time in the microcycle of Bitcoin. It blows my mind. It blows my mind.
Well, Rob, they're actually surprised. The article, they were surprised that he didn't, predict correctly here. Following his comments, Bitcoin continued to trade robustly and then recently hit a new local high above 47K. Well, the author of this article doesn't know what we know. Jim Cramer is the reverse indicator for Bitcoin. Let's just will it into existence. We see Jim Cramer being bearish. Let's all just put in a spot order of $20. Let's all just market buy $20. Yeah. Kind of like El Salvador Day. I remember buying on that day, and then I remember just, bleeding 30% over the next 2-3 months. Like, okay, I fell for that scam. All right, well, I think it's time for us to look at some BitLab charts, everybody. We're now we already kind of covered the Golden Cross. We have a lot of people trading some alts. There are some alts doing pretty well. Let me just share this real quick because I don't know if you're going to share any of these coins. Bitcoin is moving up 4.6% and Solana moving 6%. But you're going to see a sea of red, a lot of red. But some of these alts are really moving. Bonk, 22%. Helium, 22%. Tia, 20%. Then the first coin we haven't really talked about, BSV, also up 20%. Caspa is up 10%. And Mantle, we're seeing a lot of good assets here. Say is up 5%. Anything popping out in the alts to you?
Oh, yeah, actually. Let me go to those charts. I actually had a couple pulled up. Nick asked me before we went live. He said, we should look at some of the things that we think might perform well alongside Bitcoin if Bitcoin gets the spot ETF approval, because there's a speculation whether the entire market's going to pump or is Bitcoin going to run and if there's going to be a capital sort of ping pong back and forth between but if we're looking at stacks, we see this has just been on a steady climb to the upside. It's coming into a little bit of an order block right here. This is on the 6-hour chart with the bearish signal, but I think things are a lot of coins are going into a bit of a holding pattern. So I do expect this will likely perform fairly well. We also see, I had Celestia on here as well. Let's get over here to the 6-hour chart. It kind of looks like the Bitcoin chart zoomed out on the monthly, right?
We've all, a lot of people in the channel have been talking about Tia. I think Basement was first though, right, Drew? You guys, I came in late, double digit area. You guys were talking about it pretty early though, right?
Yeah, man, it was nothing I was like fading. I know everyone's worried about the token unlock on Halloween next year, but that's a long time away. You know what I mean?
ARB has a huge dump in March. Right. There's closer events to worry about.
Around that time frame where the H bar fear was about the token unlock with H bar, and it never really affected me in the price. So I kind of just dispelled those worries in the basement, and it's been up performing.
What two coins have top 5 daily issuance?
Who's that?
Bitcoin and Cardano. Oh. You don't see me freaking out.
Yeah. But on that note here with Tia, we're pushing up almost into new, price discovery, which is, I think as the market starts to run, we have to understand that although you might think you and your friends and other people know about it, that holding it in your circle, new coins, they will see they'll gain a lot of new exposure to the communities, even within the crypto space, as prices performing well, especially if the market is in a bullish trend. Generally, I expect this to perform very well. Also, we could see BNB or Binance Coin here, actually pushing up into a bit of almost a bull flag, but still very bullish. And the reason why I say this is because if we come out here, if we just scroll down the list really quick, look at a lot of these coins. So a lot of these coins are rolling over. Matic, look at this. Very bearish sort of setup here. Comp, very bearish. They're all looking very similar. Link, I expect this actually might get a little bit of a bounce here. But Mina, rolling over. A lot of coins are rolling over. And I expect there's going to be a little bit of a breaking of TA trend here when these, I think the market's going to be pretty volatile broadly, and we're going to see capital flowing between a lot of different assets. But I want to zoom out for a second and just say, in the event of everything, not going exactly as planned, where are we looking? Well, we're currently right now at Rational Root, this is his platform called Bitcoin Strategy Platform. We're right at that fair value mark right now, just above it. If we were to drop, the next level down, this is I don't expect going to 28,000. I just wanted to point this out where we're at on this trend. We're right where we should be, where we've been in previous cycles pre-halving. So very healthy look there. Now, we still have a great bullishness here with percent supply last active. And another thing I did not pull up here, but I have the Nupal. I don't have the realized profits. But we're getting in a very, very frothy area in terms of where we're at. You see this blue line here. This is the unrealized profits. This is people that have been basically bought lower, and how many people are in profit here. Okay, we're getting into kind of levels that we've seen previous cycles, that when we tap into this level, we saw a bit of a pullback. In the 2018, 2019 case, this was a pretty substantial pullback. I think it totaled over 70% with including the black swan here. But if you did not include that, that's still like a 55% pullback. Do I think that's going to happen? I think we're going to get a little bit minimized pullback, but I do think we're going to get one. But I think it's going to be sometime later in February or March. I think right now it's all about the bull. The open interest got a little bit cleared out with that big move we saw a few days ago. Really cleared out. Look how high this open interest was, and we're back to a healthier sort of state of the market. So where we're at with Bitcoin, as we wrap this up, let's go down here on the 4-hour chart and say, what the heck is going on? Where are we going? Let's turn on some of the indicators and all the lines and everything. Okay, well, we've broken out of this triangle, the symmetrical triangle here. And look at this. This is something I want everybody to pay attention to. See this breakout to the upside, and then the price comes back down and breaks below the support line here, and then comes back up. We're going to see, I think, a little bit of this going in to tomorrow, just like we saw a couple days ago, actually even here on this 4-hour candle. Look at this. We're going to get some impulses because people get over leveraged and the markets move and do basically cascading liquidations, which is why you get this quick move, flushes out that open interest, gets back to healthy. So don't just go all in and walk away from the computer. Don't go on anything unless it's your long-term holder portfolio. Things are looking very bullish, but on a technical level, we are at a point right now where we could see a little bit of a dip. But I think all in all, things are going to be consolidating into that news tomorrow. And then it's going to be, I think, lift off from there.
Lift off from there. And part of the reason it's a money war. The money war behind the scenes for these Bitcoin ETFs is heating up right now. And right now, it's the fee wars, and it is a race to the bottom, everybody. And as far as Dirty Gary's tweet, we talked about that on ATB's episode last night. Go check that out. We give you a full breakdown of what we feel about his tweet in this article. In this video, we'll explore how these applicants are giving lower fees. So BlackRock offering 0.3%, and then it will drop to 0.2% for the first 12 months or until $5 billion in volume is reached. Volume, that is a key thing right there. ARK, compelling fee of 0.25%, Galaxy 0.59%, Van Eck 0.25. I like to tweet. I tweeted about this. So there's old Chucky Ho Ho, as people like to call him there. Here is the link for the video if you want to check that out. Here is our Cardano upgrades for 2024 video, and we keep scrolling and we finally find it right here. Here are the respective Bitcoin ETF fees. Coming in, BlackRock will be the cheapest after Bitwise, and we were joking how Bitwise pulled a Price is Right. 0.25, 0.24.
I think I just saw right before we went live, they moved it down to 0.2.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the fee wars is continuing to heat up even as I'm reading the article. That's how much it is heating up. We can't even keep up with it. And Van Eck, like I said, Van Eck looking to have ETFs trading on a Thursday, according to the CEO here, expecting approval with trading to start on Thursday. So pretty excited if we get the trading on Thursday. And who are the clear winners? Investors are the clear winners as these fee battles just comes lower and lower. Makes it, to me, a lot more attractive. So if you look at, imagine you don't know anything about Bitcoin, but you're in control of, say, $10 million for your company, and you're walking in at some sort of like ADP level meeting, and you're worried about like 401ks and allocations, and someone says, oh, well, we have this gold ETF, and the fee, that's 0.6%. But you've heard this thing about a digital gold, and you're like, well, why is that fee 0.2%? Oh, yeah, I don't know if you want that. That's volatile. Well, why is the fee lower? And then you start thinking, they're making money off the fees. They're making money off of me. And the free market has gotten these fees lower and lower and lower versus some of these other ETFs. I mean, do you think BlackRock is going to allow there to be 15 Bitcoin ETFs 20 years from now? Or are they going to gobble up some of these companies?
Well, they're going to gobble. I think they're going to gobble some of them up. And I think the ones that get approved initially are going to be the ones that are going to be around for the next, 1 to 3 years. And I think that's going to actually, it might whittle down a little bit over time beyond that. I don't think somebody coming in 4 years, for instance, with the ETF is really going to stand a chance. But to the point you just made about the fees, the other thing we have to consider is it's not just the fees on these ETFs that's going to be an incentive for people, but money managers that have some idea to look forward, because we are investors. We're supposed to be looking forward, not backwards. And those fund managers, those market managers that are a part of these different funds working with retail clients, the ones that are looking to the future see that Bitcoin is a tangible, real asset in terms of harnessing your future. And the world is moving in that direction. I think that's one aspect. The other aspect is I think a lot of money managers are also going to be incentivized to push people to this new product. They make money when they sign up with new different products. And I think BlackRock and ARK and Bitwise, they're going to be incentivizing as well as index funds out there looking to gain new exposure to stuff, incentivizing getting people to sign up to something like this. So I think there's going to be a huge fun. In fact, fun fact, just before I got on the stream, setting up for the BitLab show, there's roughly $48 to $50 trillion in the US alone of money in funds and banks and all this stuff that's earmarked for this type of investment, not specifically Bitcoin, but for these broad range of investments. And so what percentage of that is going to be attributed and, reallocated over to Bitcoin?
And as we saw earlier, Bitcoin only reached a $1.25 trillion market cap. So it won't take much to move that thing. Truck Dano, would an ETF approval lead to a decrease of trading volume on exchanges? I think it's a double-edged sword. So on one level, yeah, you're going to have that boring institutional guy that market buys 100K of Bitcoin on Coinbase once a month, something like that. Sure, that person does exist. And then that person is going to be removed from the volume there. Okay, so I got you. On that level, it's going to be decreased. But at the same time, we're going to see more and more people talking about Bitcoin ETFs, talking about Bitcoin just elsewhere, and seeing it on Fox Business News, seeing it on CNBC, seeing it on Motley Fool newsletter. And then I think that will lead to increased volume. So on one hand, it will be decreased. I think long term, it increases the volume. Kelly's stepping away. He's going to try to figure out. You just sign into your YouTube too. Like, you don't. It doesn't have to be the editing one. We lost chat. So we're gonna. He's trying to sign into a different YouTube account here. If that doesn't work, just sign into your old personal. If you still remember it.
She's sending me the password.
Gonna do the whole thing. Yeah, we gotta have a system here. 14 steps. All right, hold Bitcoin for the next couple of months, according to Masari, Ryan Selkis, the CEO here, 2-bit idiot. So he's saying the investment strategy holders amid a potential upward rally in the expected bull cycle. Investors should ideally hold on to Bitcoin for the next few months, then take some gains as the MVRV crosses 2 to 3 here. So kind of the things that you can see at the BitLab Academy. I would say if just sign in to, okay, she's got it. Here, let's show it. Go full screen here. People want to see behind the scenes. Already gone. All right, gone. Associate producer.
It's right here on the right side. Oh,
okay. So we got a whole thing going on here. Bloomberg's Mike McGlone predicts the end of Bitcoin's rally. Who's going to take Bitcoin's thunder? Oh, gold. Gold is going to outperform. No, I don't think gold's going to outperform Bitcoin for the year, but I do think gold is going to have a good year. And let me show you, folks, we're going to do a little live TA on gold here. I think I could just find gold. Bittrex, sure. Why not? We are at a pivotal moment. Oh, what the heck is this? This isn't even gold asset prices. No, because I'm in crypto. Okay, gold price, US ounce. We go to the weekly here. This is a very, very important level. And look at this trend line, folks. If we can turn this 2K level into support, I expect a pretty large breakout, maybe in the magnitude of like this run up, which is a $500 run up or a $700 run up. So $2,500 to $2,700 gold. That's my prediction. But we got to turn that bullish. Guys, I wish you could see what's happening over here. We got 18 people trying to pull up YouTube chat. Kelly, I just wanted you to pull up your personal YouTube. Do you know your personal YouTube?
No.
You don't know your personal YouTube?
No.
What, do you watch YouTube? You're a YouTuber.
I do, but it's got like 2FA and passwords.
Okay, it's a whole thing. All right, we are back. We are back. I can read Bob from accounting, a sinister Silverado. He will not sell Bitcoin until it is over $1 million. Feel free to take profit before then, please. Let's see here. Gold is a safe asset just in case. Do TA on silver. All right, let me tell you the most exciting, and then we're going to go back into some, I think I need to do silver gold chart here. Silver gold ratio. How would one find this? SILGOL. Silver gold. The ratio of silver to gold is at historic lows. Here, I can just find it. Silver price. We go here. Silver cost in an ounce. So you saw gold knocking on all-time highs. So why is silver so far down from its all-time high? If we pull this chart right here, come back down. It's down 53%. Meanwhile, gold's at an all-time high. Why is that such a huge disparity here?
Yeah, it's not great. The prepper community is all about silver and gold and stuff like that. And my mind's just thought through the whole process 100 times over. And you know what? If the power grid goes out and you're trying to barter with gold, the probably person with lead is actually the more precious metal.
Yeah, brass and lead is going to be better off. But I will say this, Drew, you are bartering. All right, this is this future world where Drew he's a king. He's a warlord. He has 17 vassals working underneath him. I'm one of them, and I feel lucky.
Yeah, it's great.
So this is the future, all right? It's a Walking Dead. It's a full-blown apocalypse situation here. What are you more likely to be able to buy some chicken feed with? Silver or gold? I feel like it's silver. Yeah, because it's easier to denominate.
It is easier. Like, yeah, cutting. That's why the divisibility of gold and silver came into my mind when I was choosing Bitcoin or these precious metals. The divisibility of it is just not there, and we are in a very electronically connected
People got
world,
strong feelings. Silver is Dogecoin. Silver is a meme coin. Okay, silver, no, only for the werewolves. I don't know if that'll be part of the apocalypse if we get one. All right, silver is down because of JP Morgan. Surprising. I've seen similar things. You know, it is manipulated to the downside. There's a lot of paper silver being sold relative to real silver. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just what I've heard. And people love... what is it? What's AG? Yeah, people love AG, if you know what that element is. All right, we do have a big winner for the ETFs. A lot of people say Coinbase. Coinbase is the big winner. There's someone that's actually working even closer with BlackRock, VanEck, 21, all these other participants, and that is Jane Street. If you don't know Jane Street, if you don't know the whole story here, you might not see too much here, but Jane Street is kind of known as being affiliated with 3-letter agencies. Yeah. Also affiliated with, guess who met there, Kelly? Do you know who met at Jane Street?
Is it SBF and Caroline?
It is. Caroline and Sam Bankman-Fried met at Jane Street. So it's well-connected people, is my understanding there. And if you looked at Sam Bankman's parents, let's just say, 21-year-old college grad, you're not exactly, especially if you've seen Sam Bankman-Fried talk, probably didn't ace that interview. You know what I mean? Probably, I'm just guessing here. And again, this is all speculation. And maybe it's because I came from nothing and, I'm seeing someone with a silver spoon. Maybe I'm jaded here. I'm assuming his parents being that well connected maybe had something to do with his getting a job at Jane Street. Maybe it's related. Maybe it had something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Or maybe he aced the interview.
I mean, that if we could go deep there. It goes all the way down to, if we want to talk about, it's what's known as structural violence. It's a phrase that I learned there when I was studying anthropology at Columbia, and here I am doing crypto. But no, I do think there was probably some circumstances which tailored his way to that. But despite everything that he did and how wrong he was, you can't deny that he's a smart guy. It's too bad that he used it for the wrong reasons.
All right. And everybody, we do have a competition every Friday. Tag us in your Blofin trades. Let's see. I kind of want to let's see. All right. I got a slight long, so we're going to re-enter, but we're going to have a very, very tight stop loss. I might come in right below that wick. That way, if I lose out, I'm not losing too much there. But we are moving up the wins, so that means the losses will move up as well. So you got to be careful out there, folks. They will try to shake you out of the markets. But speaking of shaking out, they're trying to shake out Bitcoin because of its fatal flaw. That is right. Regulators saying Bitcoin, the fatal flaw, how Bitcoin's creator unwittingly paved the way for regulatory takeover. So what are they talking about? What are the reasons regulators have to come after Bitcoin? Well, they're saying, hey, it was good intentions. And that definition and distinction, they left a loophole to come after the digital asset. They're saying the stability, and without the network and asset understanding, they have to come from the network here. All right, so this has been done indirectly by censoring exchanges. The decentralized nature and lack of backing by any government raises concerns about its stability, potential impact on traditional finance systems. I like how the government is saying, since you're not tied to a government, I can't trust your stability. But meanwhile, all of us watching know being tied to a government harms stability. But not most people are going to understand that distinction.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is an entire narrative shift, right? It's not just, hey, here's money. It's a cultural thing. It's a money thing. It's a store of value. It changes dynamics of so many different things, which is why it's such a disruptive technology. And I think that, bizarrely, one of the reasons why it's the most disruptive is because of its transparency. And governments do not like the idea that everything is listed there, which is funny because they want to go after people for doing illicit activities, but they don't talk about, actually, you should probably want them to do it on crypto because everything's tracked. But that means they would be held accountable too for their actions, which is why I think they push back there. And then in addition to that, the fact that they can't actually have control over that monetary instrument. And it's sad that I thought, especially in the US, it's supposed to be a country that's for the people, by the people, right?
Yeah.
And somehow the thing that would be the best, not only for US citizens, but for people all over the world, especially in developing countries, best asset in history also provides them access to freedom. And why is it limited?
Is anyone at home, and Drew, you probably experienced this, Kelly, maybe you've experienced this. You ever say to someone, well, yeah, the government has a monopoly on violence. And you're like, you just kind of, it's just such a normal sentence to come out of your mouth. And then they look at you like,
yeah,
what the hell are you smoking? When did you turn into Dale from King of the Hill? And you're like, I'm not, wake up.
Yeah.
You just want to shake them. All right. Well,
my favorite though, is when people say, but Bitcoin comes from nothing. I say, well, tell me where the US dollar comes from. And they're like, what?
Yeah. My favorite, King of the Hill moment is this full screen.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Pocket sand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the lint. I actually had lint. Lint actually attacked Kelly there. I didn't mean to disrespect you by actually throwing lint at you. I meant to throw air at you.
No, it's all
Kelly.
good. No,
So,
it didn't hit me. I was acting with you.
Okay. Yeah, I violently threw lint at him because this is a hostile workplace.
Yeah,
all right,
that's how I got pink eye.
Oh my.
Whoa, I gave it to. Look, we're not going to talk about that story. All right, speaking of the pinks, IRS mandate. Hey, I like how I have a 1950s communist reference there. IRS mandate rapid reporting for 10K crypto gains. We've talked about this and we're seeing conflicting information. Now it looks like the IRS requires completing this form within 15 days if you receive over 10K in crypto for trade or business, needing a name, social security number, and full address. It applies to individuals in trades like mining, day trading, even without an incorporated business. I think it's for accredited investors, though. They're being loose with the language here to make it seem like it's you.
It has to do, it's not just like every single person out there. If you make a $10,000 trade on a DEX, you need to do this. It has to do, if you're basically doing it for a business service, and it's 100% right in line from my understanding. It could be wrong, but from the people I've spoken with, It's right in line with the same provisions and regulations that are on $10,000 transactions in US and fiat as well. So there's nothing new there. If anything at all, what it does is it gives, we're stepping more into that regulated world where all of us in the Wild West here are like, no, but in reality, we also still want to see the price go astronomically high. And you don't get that without regulatory clarity and all these things being set for institutions to be involved with it.
All right. People love pocket sand. Apparently, I struck a chord with that one. Hit that like button if you like pocket sand. Also, hit that like button if you hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere, like Anakin.
Well, if people want to go walk on the beach, I'm like, listen, I'll walk to the beach and you guys can go walk. I'm not a fan of walking because it rolls my ankle and I just...
I used to have a little bit more fun when I was younger, and when I was 19 years old, I ate some psilocybin and went to the beach, and I've never had an issue with sand after that. I was pouring sand all over myself, and it felt good. And so I don't even mind sand like being in bed sheets or shoes or anything. It flipped a switch in my brain, and I don't know why. Blame the portobellos, I'll say.
Therapy.
Yeah, it was for medicinal purposes. All right, gold. I was 19, okay? Gold rush continues. We're talking about gold. We're going to bring it full circle here. Central Bank purchased 44 tons in November, looking like a whole lot there. So according to public records and reports from the IMF, central banks across the globe added 44 tons of gold to their coffers. Who led the charge? The Bank of Turkey. Who's been in the news about, EU leaders are pissed at this country?
Yep, it was Turkey. They're entering hyperinflation right now. So, a sickness over here is a death sentence over there comparatively to the inflation rate right now. So they got to make some moves.
Got to make some moves over there. Well, central banks continuing their gold rush in November. And it looks like they continue to add tons and tons of gold here. Each ton, 2,000 pounds. So what are we looking at there? 88,000 pounds of gold. That's a whole lot of gold. According to Steve Hanke, economist and professor of applied economics, the accumulation of the central banks in developing nations have to do with uncertainty surrounding the field of fiat currencies, aka the decline of the US dollar. Nonetheless, the World Gold Council, imagine, all right, so these people who love gold, well, they have a gold prediction. Oh, I wonder what their gold prediction is from the people who love gold. Gold will have a flat performance in a soft landing scenario. Okay, well, that's actually surprisingly neutral there. All right, well, flat landing. Okay, what are your thoughts on turning 2K into support, Drew? Is that possible? I know you're in the gold scene. What are the preppers saying? Are they saying, coming soon? Or are they saying like $50 silver next?
No, I mean, there's always been the call for the 10K gold ounce, but I think turning 2K into support does look pretty likely for gold right now. And, you're seeing China and Turkey and all these other countries stacking gold in the background to kind of hoist up their fiat that's dying. They're doing this in the background. It's going to hold its value and it's going to continue going up. I don't poo-poo on gold's value going up over time. It's just I experience a better upward trajectory on Bitcoin. So
okay, all right. Upward trajectory for Bitcoin. Are we talking about Andrew Tate's wallet balance?
Well, probably that too.
Oh, wait a minute here. Andrew Tate may receive 21 seized Bitcoin, now worth 88% more. This is after he got a win in a Romanian court, a minor win, opening the door for him to begin the process to recover his assets, including the 21 Bitcoin. I think they got him for some cars as well. So they got him for some cars. Okay, luxury cars, property, and designer watches, and 21 Bitcoin. These were in the seized assets that belonged to Tate and his brother Tristan, who looks shockingly like Gary Gensler's twin brother. Together, they're accused of a whole litany of charges, but they weren't charged. That's so weird. So they weren't, I don't know. It's weird Romanian stuff. All right. CFTC urges policymakers to regulate DeFi. All right. So CFTC, once again, in the battle with the SEC over who can control crypto. And CFTC, they're throwing their weight around, trying to regulate some DeFi here. Why? They're to ensure the safety of the U.S. financial system, consumers, and national security. Yeah, it's not to protect the big banks, though. It has nothing to do with protecting the big banks. DeFi remains at a risk of illicit activity. So does cash. So does gold bars found in Bob Menendez's closet. I'm sorry, in his safe. So does, what was the number one thing used for illicit activity? It's the Shell Corporation game. Yeah. Almost like, I can't remember the statistic. I'll just make something up. Like 88% of illicit financial crimes we're done playing with like shell corporations. Does that surprise you?
No.
Seems low almost.
Yeah, I mean, not at all. I mean, it's funny how sometimes people get, dinged for doing something illegal on a minuscule scale, and then you have these other institutional players and characters, people out there, not characters, but people out there in the world that are at the top level of different executives, and they have all these different shell corporations to hide their money in different ways so they don't have to do this or that. And then this person over here gets dinged because they didn't pay $1,000 on their taxes. It's like, it's kind of ridiculous to me.
Pretty ridiculous. All right. Pete, fire up. I like Bottom G. That's the one who dances, right? The guy that looks like him that dances. Have you seen the Bottom G? It looks, all right. Just, you see Tristan Tate, you see Gary Gensler's brother. You're like, okay, I see some similarities. You see Bottom G and Top G. The guy really looks like him, but better dancing moves. Let's see. I do 200 to 1 silver to gold. Starting to do 100 to 1 because that much silver gets heavy. Okay, Bob. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're buying gold versus silver a year or two ago, I mean, you're better off buying gold. I feel like that trend will reverse at some point, though. All right, Troll is up. Good, congrats on that one. Now it's going to be down 99% eventually, so be careful. All right, Redacted Cartel embraces Chainlink CCIP or enhance cross-chain capabilities. So we're seeing the CCIP get used more and more. This is Perex ETH, so it's kind of a staking ETH protocol right there. Injective turns bullish amidst a 100% token unlock. What is next? So it looks like they had a pretty large unlock there. Let's see here. To understand what caused the price correction, they're looking at their liquidation heat map. And the liquidation skyrocketed when its price reached the $41 mark. And then the high sell-offs initiated a bear rally, pushing the price down. Let's see, Solana, 2,500 monthly developers amid price and activity surge. This isn't a Solana thing. This is a crypto thing. I always get suspicious when I see monthly active developers, especially when we saw, was it two brothers pretending to be billions in TVL, pretending to be multiple protocols, writing several smart contracts, pretending to be several people. Oh, I just get a little bit suspicious, but
hey,
Solana's on the way up.
I got hoodwinked into that. I forget what it was. It was like Sunny and
Sunny Madra.
No, it was Sunny was the name of the token.
Oh, okay.
And then another one, Sunny Aggregator or something. Another one was I can't remember the other, Saber. And they were part of that whole that where the volume was faked, where they were just buying and selling between the projects and moving capital, making it look like there was this huge growth. And then when that got rugged, all those projects just completely evaporated. That's why you got to make sure, just because somebody talked about something, whether it's even us, when you hear somebody talking about something, don't make that excite you and you go, I'm going to catch up to everybody, and you throw your whole life savings into it only to end up with nothing. This is why you need to make sure you diversify and be more heavily weighted in Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these other top L1s.
What were those projects again?
Sunny and Saber.
Sunny, Saber. Saber's the paper company. Where is it? Scranton, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It was just a bad setup for season 8 Office reference. Let's see here. I think it was season 8. Monero is where the attention needs to be. NV Capital. Not people. VCs, regulators hate privacy coins. That's why you don't see much action with privacy coins. Zcash and Monero. Zcash, one of my worst performers ever. As far as like, hey, this is a project I believe in, solid. Smart people seem to like it. I'm not talking about a meme coin that fell 99.9%. Yeah, we all know those are, destined to go to zero if they don't blow up. Yeah, that is probably my biggest loser is Zcash. That was one of those, I think I still have like one Zcash just sitting, just not doing anything. Let's actually pull it up. It's ZEC, if I'm not mistaken here, Zcash. ZEC.
Man,
Jesus Christ! It is down 8% today. Oh, that was a interesting launch there. So let's do this. All right, that's a little. Oh my God, that looks like an XRP chart.
Yeah,
I am not interested in this coin much longer. I'll say that. If there's a spike, I'm looking to just deploy that almost. Oh my God, it's $20. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and it's still looking bearish at this posture as well. It's not. It's not looking like it wants to. This was an exit push right here. Everybody got out and boom. Now it's just.
I remember not exiting. I remember, enjoying somewhat of a run up. This is the 2021 price spike. So you see, here's Bitcoin's first peak. There's Bitcoin's second peak. I don't know where I got in, somewhere around here. And I remember this. I remember thinking like, oh, should I sell? Nah, I'm long term. And I remember this plummet was just so sudden, so sharp, so quick. I just gave up on selling. I don't even know what to do with this thing except just sit on it and hold it like an idiot. And that's what I've been doing ever since. We have some Solana news here. OKX, Liz Bonk, and how do you say this one? JTO? JTO? I'm not.
Cheeto?
It is plummeting to monthly lows, but Bonk 20% pump today. So if you bought because you're like, oh, it's super, super low, you're doing pretty good. And now they have another prediction. Ape has just been doing terrible. Probably also I can't really call this a loser because it was free, but I definitely should have sold a lot more. I sold half day one and I kind of rode the rest, start staking it. I've now restaked my way back to my original position in tokens, but fiat wise, I'm way, way down. Let's look at Ape. You ready to feel bad for DZ? Now, again, this is free. So honestly, you can't feel bad. Everything here is in profit.
Hey, man, you're diversified. It's okay if you take some losses when you got other stuff going up.
I'm not kidding. Me and Talk. All right. So this was the other deed launch right here. So they did a mint and that was the peak. But before the mint, there was a merch launch. And I remember me and Taco buying the merch. I may have rebought the token. I honestly don't remember. Because like I spent my Ape to buy a hoodie and a hat and some other stuff. I remember thinking like, shouldn't I rebuy the Ape after I buy this clothing? I may have rebought
so you didn't
it.
feel like a faker? Like,
well, no. So I didn't reduce my exposure. I was like, no, man, I'm long-term bullish. They have this mint coming up, and I didn't sell any of the token when it was above $20.
Do you think Bored Apes are going to come back this bull market, D?
Yeah, I do. Other deeds, the other side demo is probably the number one reason why I'm bullish on it. I can probably, maybe don't share this just because I don't know what's going to pop up, but the other side demo was 18 months ago, probably something like that. And nothing has really come close to matching it. Let's see. I might have to go back. Mother side, yeah. So it was July 18th, 2022. I said 18 months ago, pretty much on the mark right there. And they had thousands upon thousands of people. Let's see here. If I hit media, it might give us just the screenshot. There's the famous video where it's just all the people testing it at once. Again, this is probably risky scrolling. Yeah, scrolling media on deep. X account now. Even though it's my account's pretty curated. But their demo did fantastic. I expect in the 18 months since they've been building Yuga Labs. Who'd they hired? You guys remember who they hired?
Oh, it was a big hire. They got
Activision CEO.
That's who it was.
They hired the Activision CEO. So, they had something awesome 18 months ago. They hired the Activision CEO. And I'm assuming in the meantime, they've been building. Is this it right here? Really loved it. Yeah, I think I got it here. So this, I don't know.
That looks great.
Yeah, some clips and stuff. Oh, that's not even it. So yeah, they got cool clips 18 months ago. That's so far ahead of all other Web3 games. Not really. I mean, there's some that's like a playable mobile style game. What they're trying to do is more like a Fortnite or something like that.
Yeah. I remember the game was pretty good. Like the gamified program.
Dookie Dash was fun.
Dookie Dash was good.
The heavy metal game sucked though, but Dookie Dash was fun. I was playing Dookie Dash every day. And trust me, there's a lot of games where it's like, oh, you play this every day, you get $5. I was playing Dookie Dash like for free. Like it was just kind of fun. It was Subway. I never played Subway running style game, where it's just like you got to avoid obstacles and how long can you go, Flappy Bird style. What else do we got any questions? We got an XRP army. We gotta talk about XRP army. All right, where we got here? Ninja alerts. Okay. All right, here we go. Ripple CTO XRP army locking heads over the firm's massive XRP stash. We've talked about, they have a certain amount that they release every month. Most ends up in escrow. Some is sold on the open market. I'm sorry, over the OTC here. Let's see here. So in this post shared, Ripple Labs CTO defended the recent massive XRP dump. This is coming amongst chatter amongst the community because they're getting kind of pissed about all the XRP that you're selling here. In another tweet, Short stated that the initial plan for the XRP stash was to use it for giveaways, incentivize partnerships, and drive adoption. On whether a burn was possible, I can't think of any set of events that would lead to that happen that's even remotely probable. I also don't think it would have any real benefits. That's a load of bullcrap. Will burning XRP lead to benefits? I can't think of a community that would get more excited for a token burn.
Right. Yeah.
It's been a lot of dumping. Yeah, it's been pretty painful watching the dumps. It was every month they dump on us. So it's, please do. Can someone call the devs, Just call the devs.
All right. So here's what they have. They disclose they have 41 billion locked in an escrow account, and every month 1 billion locked XRP is released into circulation, most of which returns to the escrow account. Now they have 5.2 tokens in corporate accounts for operational use. Ripple estimated to release all the tokens in the next 42 months. The earliest timeline for the 41 billion to be exhausted is early 2027. What's your thoughts on XRP? Hate it? Hate it, trade it.
I used to really like the idea of XRP, but I feel like over the last year, I thought a lot more about it. I still think it has I still think it does have a use case, but I've kind of shifted gears personally, and all of you can think what you want, but I kind of shifted gears from thinking it was going to be something that was going to be really, really tied in with reshaping the banking system with Swift and all that, especially when Chainlink got involved there as well. And there's other projects out there as well. And why would banks be giving away this thing when they can, with this access point, this service, this utility? When you see JP Morgan, they launched their coin, they were transacting billions of dollars a day on that. It kind of undercuts the utility and projection for what XRP can do when you see banks are just able to do that themselves.
All right, did get stopped out. I lost a steak sandwich, but we're going to continue to look at this, see if we can see any, some bullish divergence hiding in some of these charts, and we'll be ready to maybe put in another position because I feel like some of these coins definitely want to bounce from some of these levels. If we go to the 4-hour chart on Cardano, it's a very, very important point there. You can see it acting as support. We'll see 50 cents, and it's a huge psychological
But watch
number.
for some of these charts. Even though I was saying they're bearish, I think this is one of those emotional triggers that market makers do. And I think that especially with the bullishness that's coming, I do think the altcoins are likely going to get some pretty good bullish price action following Bitcoin as well. So even though these structures look fairly bearish, I think there's going to be some setups for some.
Looks like a little bearish divergence on Bitcoin's 4-hour. Kelly, can you just maybe throw the screen up and see what we're looking at here, or maybe share on your own chart? It looks like we peaked, like 12 right around there, and then we had another peak. But the market's RSI, the price is higher. The RSI is lower though. What are you seeing? Are you seeing something similar
on the 4-hour?
On the 4-hour, like this little peak right here to this little peak right here.
I can't see where you're.
This little peak right there. This little peak right here. Looks like RSI is slightly lower with the higher price.
Yeah, there's some bearish divergence here on the stochastics, RSI and the momentum. There's a little bit, but again, there's going to be some what do you call it? Some hedging. Some uncertainty that's coming into the market. We're coming up on the golden pocket, which is right at $48,000. And so take the ETF out of this. We're coming into an area that there was already going to be some expected likely profit taking coming into that zone. So I think things right now, barring these divergences, looking back to, January, the beginning of this year, not earlier this week, really. I'm not looking at divergences on this right now. The ETF news, denial, rejection, or delay is going to be what drives the next price movement on Bitcoin.
I like ICP. It's one of the last 3 assets I've been buying. ICP, was it TIA and GMX, I think. So we've been doing pretty good on most of those there. Let's see here. Hedging okay, that was good. I thought I was going to say shorting. I said something else. I like Rocky Bobby here. The problem with Cardano is that the community is more active on social media than their own chain. I did countless Cardano transactions yesterday, so I've been playing around on MinSwap. So yeah, but that being said, I probably tweeted more than I did transactions. ICP, we look at the daily chart. We are long-term bullish, but look, this is it's a little overbought here. It's moved up pretty quickly. This is, we're heading into a bull market, so don't be surprised if it has another leg up. But there might be a correction around the corner. We don't mind buying some of these levels. I felt like a fool buying these sub $10 levels because we just had that pump and then we pumped again. So, maybe it'll play out a second time. But yeah, there you go, Chris P, our ICP 2 cents there. You got 2 cents on ICP?
It's very different narrative than Solana, but married to the same sort of trouble that they had with the tying in with FTX and SBF. FTX and SBF. It's a lot of letters there.
Devs like it.
But I think it got unnecessarily suppressed, and I think it's probably going to do great things this cycle. Also jumping into the BitLab Discord here. By the way, if you guys aren't in the Discord, get in there. There's a free section as well with a lot of community involvement. some of our top team members here and professional traders in here sharing some great charts lately here on FTM and H-bar setups, exactly where we should be looking for take profits. There's so much going on in the Discord, so make sure you're checking out what's going on in here because it's growing every day. And Joshua Jake, he's going to be having an area here where he's sharing watch lists. DZ's going to be sharing trades in here, and there's going to also be classroom sessions that we're doing in here. And TA Tim has his own section in here now as well. Where's it at? TA Tim. He's going to be he does regular basically breakdowns of what's going on in the market, all in here for the members. So get involved with BitLab. You can check out more also bitlabacademy.com. And remember, we're coming up on the most important time in the government's financing, and that is doing your taxes. So make sure you're checking out decrypted.tax if you want to get ahead of the curve on getting all your tax stuff handled. And remember, trade with us over on Blofin.
And go to my screen real quick. Cardano bleeding through, and this is why you have tight stop losses, folks. Yep. I was right there around these wicks.
Quick move.
Yeah, it is a quick move to the downside. So I think me and Kelly, we're about to go look at the charts, everybody. But go join us in the Discord.
I just did remember. We're just about to hit on the BitLab YouTube. We're just about to hit 10,000. Will it be today? Come and participate in getting us over 10,000 there in under a year. So big love to every one of the BitLab crew. If you are from the BitLab fam here, community, drop a lab coat in chat. I'll be going live directly after this stream, breaking down these charts, breaking down some really cool things going on regarding the ETF and what you got to watch out for.
All right, and I think I might put in a very, very tight one on the trading chart. So, all right, that's all we got. Make sure you use our Blofin link if you want to get in on all these giveaways where we give away money every Friday, Tether. So check us out there. We'll see you in the basement, in the lab, maybe around the blockchain. That's all we got.
Adios, muchachos.